Hi everyone, I'm Mona. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this video, I am excited to talk about the baddest blonde bombshell of the 1950s, Jayne Mansfield, the crazy about pink woman, and her favorite perfume, which was very pink smelling as well, of her final year alive. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm all about legendary perfumes and legends who wore them. If that's something you're into, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. I've done a previous video on Jayne Mansfield and her favorite fragrances, and I didn't mention this one perfume in particular, but I did know um, for a fact that she loved a rose petal, distinct rose petal perfume um, during her final years or year alive for sure. And what gave me that idea was I read an interview of Engelbert Humperdinck, who was a singer, performer, who actually was intimately, personally with Jayne Mansfield 2 weeks before she passed. And of course, the perfume investigator that I am, I found this picture of Janie um, taken in 1966, which I have on my thumbnail as my thumbnail photograph. You see a gray bottle next to her Aquanut hairspray, and I just had to figure out or find out what that fragrance was. And sure enough, I found out, and it totally gives exactly the smell, which, by the way, um, Engelbert Humperdinck purchased Jayne Mansfield's Pink Palace in 1976, and he sold it in 1990, before it was demolished, unfortunately. But he said that him and his wife would always smell Jane's distinct rose petal perfume in the Pink Palace. And I thought to myself, my goodness, what perfume is this? And don't you know, I've had this perfume before, and when I figured out what that silver 2 ounce spray bottle was, it totally matches with the fragrance I'm going to share with you that she wore um, in her final year or during her final year, which is the pinkest, perfect Jayne Mansfield perfume ever, and it totally suits her in my opinion, and it is La Amante by the House of Cody. As you can see, the box has pink on it, and this is the perfume. This is a 1/4 ounce of the actual straight perfume, but I've owned this before in the Eau de Toilette sprays. Not the silver one Jane has, but the pink ones. Um, I think they're from the 60s. And I had 2 bottles of it, and I loved it. And I mentioned it because another legendary star favored it as well. I'm not going to tell you who. You're going to have to discover that on your own. But Janie loved and wore La Amante by the House of Cody, and I can totally see her wearing this legendary, soft, delicate, pink, floral fragrance. Now, mind you, there's aldehydes in this fragrance. It's considered an aldehydic floral, like Chanel number 5 and arpege, but this is totally different. It's creamier. It doesn't have any of those animal notes. There's a little bit of like a violet candy smell, but the dominant note I get is this soft pink rose that this is definitely the perfume she was wearing up until the very end of her life. And, you know, thank goodness there's a picture of her with it, and also confirming the rose petal perfume is Engelberg Humperdinck to confirm, which I can totally see her wearing this. And like I said, it has this pink powdery quality about it. It's like a Chanel number 5, but a pink Chanel number 5, if you can imagine. It's so soft. It's distinctive for sure, but it's just so beautiful. Now, this is the original X-Straight formula, which is the best, in my opinion. They reformulate it, and Coty still sells La Amante, and I tried the modern version, and it smells very good, very close to the original, but what's missing is the pink quality of the fragrance, that something that makes this perfume utterly pink smelling is not in the modern formula. The modern one smells more like white, like a white fragrance, like Chanel number 5. And if you want to get that smell, you definitely have to purchase the vintage. Otherwise, you're not going to experience the Jayne Mansfield pink smell. And I wanted to do this quick video for all of the Jayne Mansfield fans out there. If you haven't caught my other Jayne Mansfield video, feel free to watch it, because I mentioned 4 other fragrances on that video, but this was definitely her favorite during her final year. And I also dedicate this, of course, to Jayne Mansfield herself. And with that, I'd like to close. I will see you in my next video to come very soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.